Black Oni.
You're now listening to the Black Oni Podcast.
Welcome, everyone at iTunes and on YouTube, to another exciting episode of the Black Oni Podcast. Today, I am joined by the one and only Oksana. So,
hi!
everyone, this is a very exciting moment because, one, I haven't really seen Oksana kind of in motion in like a year. So, this is a fun moment for myself, and hopefully you guys at home will also be enjoying it. And hopefully Oksana doesn't hate it.
No, I'm so excited already.
That's so good.
So thrilling. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on. We've been trying to coordinate this for a little while, and I'm glad we finally got some time to do it. Before we get into anything, I would like to ask you to plug what it is that you do to the people at home who are either listening on their morning jogs or on YouTube drawing while YouTube is going on, or iTunes in the car, whatever the podcasting apps are out there.
Whatever route.
Whatever route.
Yeah. So my name's Oksana. I go by Oksana Cosplay on Facebook. And, as the context clues will lead you, I cosplay. It's a very fun hobby. One I don't get to do as much as I'd like to because I am a full-time college student. But, I love it. It's a fun little dorky thing to do on the side. It's a good, creative outlet. Yeah. I really recommend it for anybody that, has been thinking about it. Just go for it. Jump right in.
Mm-hmm. And where can people find you on social media?
So on Facebook, you could find me at Oksana Cosplay. So, / Oksana, Oksana.
It'll be spelled out
Cosplay.
For you guys. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Also, you can find me on Instagram. But frankly, I never post. But you could be the first. Just check it out. It's also just Oksana Cosplay. Mm-hmm.
All right. And is there anything else you have, like a portfolio site?
I also model on the side.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
So if you want to check out, non-cosplay stuff, just Oksana. On Instagram, it's Oksana Modeling. So, my name is spelled the same way for all three social media sites.
So overall, she's just trying to let you guys know she's being very humble about it. She's a total badass.
Oh, you're so sweet.
and she's awesome. So you guys need to go follow her. Show her some love from the Black Oni crew.
Oh, I'll love you all tenderly. In secret.
In secret. You won't know, but yeah. it's like...
You won't know. Yeah, it's there.
It's there.
As soon as you hit follow, I'll just be like, oh, right there. They're joining my little minion gang, Special love for the minions.
Special love for
Not the yellow ones. You guys are cool.
Unless you are yellow, too. Then you're still cool.
You are. It's okay. I don't discriminate. I'll love you as you come.
I have questions, but I don't discriminate.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to jump right into our icebreaker. I need to get a soundboard for that, so I don't have to do that every time.
It's okay. I liked it.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's very authentic. Mm-hmm.
So, who is your dream interviewee? Either who would be your dream person to interview and sit down, dig into their brain?
Yeah.
My answer is Oksana. Obviously, I get that on her now, but.
For me, it'd probably be Dita Von Teese. Yeah, she's a burlesque dancer. Okay. She's also a businesswoman. She's got, she did a line of makeup with MAC for their Viva Glam collection.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got her own line of perfumes. She's just such an interesting woman, and she's got this very retro sense of style, and she's got a very strong sense of self,
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures now. She's definitely retro.
Yeah. She really has I love how glamorous she is, Yeah. And she advocates glamour in everyday life, It's just about wearing what makes you feel confident and beautiful. Mm-hmm. And, not being born beautiful, but making yourself into a beautiful person. Mm. Yeah. I think that's pretty cool. And she just seems like a really cool person to talk to, and she's done a lot.
What would be the first question you ask her?
How do you do your hair?
Okay.
I love her hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a beautiful woman.
She is
Inside and out.
She's very pretty. I'm looking at pictures of her now. I feel like I've heard that name before, but I'm trying to pin where I heard the name. It could have just been in like a regular conversation or something, but I don't recognize her face. But now that I see her, I'll know next time. That's pretty cool. If I could interview anyone, I mean, the people at home who've listened to this podcast a lot already probably already know the answer to it, but I'll say it anyway for any newcomers and for you, of course.
Aw,
Yeah, I try to take care of you.
Aw, so sweet.
Is Hideo Kojima. And, for a variety of reasons, I'm going to keep it short. So I'll say I'm just intrigued by the kind of creative ideas that are in his mind at any given time when he's creating. I think he has a lot of crazy ideas and a lot of like bonkers things that he does in his games, for example. But he speaks mostly Japanese, so I would have to like figure that logistic out.
Yeah.
But
you gotta learn.
Yeah, I've learned like a few words, but I forgot most of them now. So
That's okay. One day.
One day.
You'll get there. Sounds really cool though. You're very deep about your interviewee.
Yeah, I mean, so this is kind of dorky, but I'm going to say it anyway.
That's okay, go for it.
Because we're here, we're both dorks, it's fine.
Yeah.
He was one of the reasons why I became an artist.
Really?
So he was one person who kind of inspired me to think outside the box and not be afraid to explore what's going on in my brain on the canvas or on the piece of paper or whatever. So he was an inspiration for me growing up. Like, I played Metal Gear Solid, the first one, and me and my brother played that together, and I was just fascinated by it because it went above and beyond what most games have done at the time. So, did you ever play Metal Gear?
I got it for free on PlayStation Plus.
Nice.
So I played one of the short games. I think it was the one before Phantom Pain. I'm forgetting
Ground
the name.
Zeroes, yes.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
But it was good. I liked it. It was it's a hard game.
Yeah,
I was surprised.
Yeah, it's hard.
I mean, I'm not like, a phenomenal player. I, dabble, but
Yeah.
It was hard.
Yeah, no, that's a common thing. It was kind of hard for me at first too, because like I've been playing all the other Metal Gear games, and then this one gave you so much more freedom to just do whatever in this giant area, and you're just like, what if I go this way? And there's like 5 guys running at you, like, fuck!
Yeah.
It's
too many options,
Yeah. But yeah, that's my person.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. That's so deep. Like, damn.
Yeah. I mean, yours is pretty cool, though. Wow, pretty cool, too, though.
Cool.
Because, again, I remember hearing the name before at some point, or maybe a name similar to that, but it's always good to, like, have someone in mind if you ever have the opportunity to, like, meet them or ask them something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, we're going to move on to the next segment, which is I Want to Get to Know You.
Okay.
Interview with Oksana.
Yes, my name is Oksana.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. So, things that you like, things that you think are attributes that make you stand out from others, your career, and you mentioned you were in school. Talk a little about that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a full-time nursing student. I'm a junior, so I'm in my 3rd year. One more year after this. I'm so excited. I love everything about it, honestly. I just love helping people. I love.
The audio just cut out. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, what just happened?
Okay. There's like a little remote, and I accidentally clicked it because I got excited.
Oh, that's adorable.
It's okay. Okay, I'm back. Where was I?
That's amazing.
So it's like a very cool profession. You get to talk to people every single day, and I'm a people person. I love talking to people about everything. Yeah, it's a beautiful profession. I really admire all the people that do it as well. It's a selfless profession. Like, you go home and you feel good about what you accomplished. You get to be on your feet. You get to wear scrubs, which are basically pajamas, and it's so wonderful. So you never really have to worry about what you have to wear that day.
That's true.
Yeah. So what do I like? Food. Food is just the best thing ever. I actually, I have like Girl Scout cookies right next to me.
You're my hero.
I was like nibbling on them before I started the interview, trying to put myself in a good mood. You need some Savannah smiles to just get you going for the interview.
You can just keep eating them. I don't.
Yeah.
mind.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. You'll just get like, oh, no. Hi, my name's Oksana. Just unattractive mumbling and chewing.
That's me most days. It's fine.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It sounds like a wonderful pastime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. I appreciate it. We're gonna have a really long, fruitful relationship here.
I think so.
Yeah.
Just very superficial. Just talk about food all day.
Something else matters.
That'd be great. So what was the other? What do I dislike? Mean people.
Okay.
Mean people just suck. Don't be a mean person.
Don't be a dick. Essentially.
Exactly.
It's so easy to just not be a dick. We're gonna. I have a question for you down that line about that actually too. So, one of the questions I have for you is what made you this isn't even on there, but what made you decide to model? What got you into that? I think you muted again.
It's just I gotta like put this away. I keep touching the remote.
This is so good. This
Oh,
is
no.
worth it.
This is so unprofessional. I'm sorry. I gotta get my act together.
I love it.
Eating Girl Scout cookies beforehand, touching buttons. Okay. So how did I get into modeling? I got into it about a year ago, actually.
Really?
What had happened, cosplay actually got me kind of into it because I'd been cosplaying for about 6-7 years. And you meet a lot of people at conventions, a lot of the photographers that you talk to, they have like full-time jobs. And one of the photographers that I worked with, he was a modeling scout. And he found me through Facebook. And this could sound very sketchy. I promise. Everything works out well in the end. So he found me through Facebook. We didn't really know each other. He's like, do you want to like shoot cosplay sometime? And I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? And then he like looked at my photos and he's like, you seem tall. And I was like, yeah, I'm 5'9". He's like, 5'9"? Like, we have to do, like, a modeling test shoot sometime. I'm a modeling scout, and I could definitely submit you for some companies. And I just went with it. I was like, sure, why not? Like, I'm free this Saturday, so... Yeah, so we did a modeling test shoot, and he submitted me afterwards to a modeling agency in Philadelphia, Click Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. And what had happened was he, like, tried to... like lower my expectations at the beginning. He's like, I'm gonna try and submit it. Whatever happens. Don't get your hopes too high because I've submitted other models and things haven't worked out. I didn't really care at that point. I was like, yeah, whatever. Like I already got the cool Facebook photos.
Yeah, that's all you
what
really
more
want.
do I need? But he submitted them, and like within the hour, they had contacted me, and they're like, "Girl, like send your info." Well, they said this much more professionally,
I imagine someone like, girl, listen here. You are fine as hell.
Yeah.
We want to get you all up in here. We want to get you in the studio tomorrow.
That's exactly how it went.
Good.
No. So, like, they emailed me, and they're like, oh, like, give me your measurements and everything, and then we'll get you set up on the website. So
Wow.
that's how I got set up with that. And me and the photographer, we, like, became cool. We became chill. And he's got some friends in New York because he's from New York. Yeah. So he set me up with some of the photographers there. So I started doing a lot of freelance work. And honestly, I prefer freelance over agency work just because it's much more like interpersonal. It's a lot more networking yourself. And I always liked that. I always liked, advertising myself and just doing everything by myself, building everything organically and... Yeah, not that like agency is easier. Like there's a lot more competition.
Yeah,
but
you have a good presence, so I think that lends itself towards freelance well.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
I try. And so, what was the thing that got you into cosplaying? The thing that led up to the modeling?
So like I said, it was about 6 or 7 years ago. So I've been doing this for a while. I think it was in 8th grade, and my 2 close girlfriends, they were like. There's this really cool anime convention going on. It's New York Anime Festival. And we had, like, watched, anime at that point, like, a little bit. We dabbled in, the gateway animes, like Naruto and One Piece. And so they're like, yeah, let's just go. And at first, I was very skeptical. I was like, oh, people, dress up to go there. That sounds really dorky. I don't know if it's my thing. But I dressed up. I went with them. And I was totally right. It was completely dorky, but I loved it. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I had so much fun. I love how open everybody is about their hobbies. And like, I went to one, and as I was going home that day, I was already planning my next cosplay.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was already thinking about what series I wanted to watch, based off of the people that I talked to, and it was just wonderful. The community is just great.
So what was your first cosplay?
Oh, gosh.
I want to hear it.
So it was Lanely from D. Grayman. So I'm blonde, and I didn't want to wear a wig. So I just put my hair into 2 pigtails, and I was like, it's okay, I'm a blonde Lanely. Just went with it. Nobody knew who I was. Maybe, like, the only ones that sort of knew or, like, guessed.
Okay, yeah.
They knew because of my friends, because they were, like, actually dressed up. Like, they looked like, Yukonda and Alan Walker. So, the process of elimination, they're like, Lanely?
Wait, where's Lanely from again, you said?
D. Grayman.
D. Grayman, okay.
Yeah. It was good. My friends are really into it, so I got into it, too.
Yeah.
It's that anime that they, like, they cut off before they, finished it, so.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
It's the worst. That's pretty cool. So, my next question is, what positive experiences have you had through cosplaying, and also what negative experiences have you had? So people hear all these kind of like success and horror stories pertaining to cosplay, so I'm very interested to see what your experiences have been.
Honestly, for positive experiences, just all the friendships I've made and just all the people I've met. I've met some of the most interesting, like, quirky people. I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
I've made some very good friendships, yeah. The good thing is that when you go to a anime convention or a comic book convention, everybody has the same hobbies. Or if you don't watch the same thing, you recommend other things to each other. So just going there, you already have something in common. So, like, anybody you see around you, you have the potential to, like, be best friends with them just based off of what your hobbies are,
Right. Nice.
And then negatives, I mean,
aside from meeting me, but
oh yeah, you too. You're, like, awesome. You're a plus.
No, okay, good. I'm on the plus side.
You're on the pro list. Don't worry.
I was like,
There's a pros and cons checklist. For cons, honestly, I haven't had too many issues in the community. I think it's just based on the people that I hang out with. I don't hang out with toxic people.
That's
I don't get involved in the politics of cosplay, the whole like wars and, I just think that's ridiculous. This is a hobby. We're all dorks. Like, what's the point of it being like a popularity contest? Just enjoy yourself. Dress up how you want to dress up.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do. Like, forget what anybody else is saying about you, Like, oh, she doesn't actually play video games, or like, oh. There's those people that, they're like...
The doubters.
Yeah. What are they called? The gatekeepers or whatever?
Oh.
Yeah, they, like, you have to be, like, a total nerd to do this, and it's dumb,
Yeah.
If you enjoy it, even if you slightly enjoy something, just do it, Don't let anybody make you feel like less of a nerd because you don't know as much as somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always been a very toxic part of being at conventions in general, is people saying you don't have enough nerd cred or something. It's weird.
Yeah. That's dumb, Just do you. Forget about everybody else. And just surround yourself around positive people, If you're going out to cosplay conventions and or like anime conventions, excuse me, or comic book conventions, hang around with people that just make you feel better about yourself, not people that are like, oh, your wig isn't accurate, you have orange hair and like you should be having like purple or what. I don't know. It's a very big distinction, but
no, it's true.
Yeah.
Some people get really nitpicky about stuff like that.
It's like, oh, it's not the right shade of blue. Like, get over yourself.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, another thing, a lot of people, like the fans, sometimes they don't know how to, like, how do I put this?
They don't know how to
It's
talk
the whole-
to girls.
It's not even that. It's just like the whole like cosplay is not consent thing, There's a lot of people that think that just because you're in cosplay that it's like an invitation to, do something that you wouldn't ordinarily do to a person walking down the street. And same common laws of decency apply no matter where you are, no matter what you're wearing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I always get kind of not angry, but just kind of upset or like saddened when I'm like I like someone I know, for example, has an experience that's really, really on that side of like someone sexually harassing them, and it's like
It's horrible.
I just it's hard to believe that it happens. Like, yeah, there's obviously like this allure of like looking, and like some people wear a little bit less clothes than others. Like, wow, this is actually really tantalizing. This is cool, but there's never a moment. There should never be a moment in anyone's mind where it's like, this is my invitation to start groping this person.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
That's like a whole host of problems, you know.
Like, you could be at the beach. That doesn't mean you start groping everyone. Like, everyone's basically naked at the beach. So like, what's the big deal, guys? Like, what up? What's happening?
Yeah. I don't really understand. I just think like I like that conventions are starting to, you know, have more of like the boards and everything, the Holocaust was not consent boards. And taking more seriously when people go up to them for like sexual harassment complaints, you know?
Yeah. It's important.
I think it's good that they're taking it a lot more seriously.
I agree.
Because, you know, like, if the cosplayers are feeling unsafe, they're not going to be doing it as much as the convention, and that's one of the big draws to the convention places, so they should be taking it seriously, you know? Even from a business aspect.
Right.
You know, apart from the common decency aspect.
Right. Aside from just being a good person, right? Who would you like to cosplay that you haven't so far?
Oh, okay. For the longest time, I've been planning on doing Princess Leia, her slave costume.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I love it so much. I think it's so, like, because she's one of those women that's so, like, hardcore and, like, badass. And, like, even when she is, you know, in the slave costume, she chokes out, and she, like...
She murdered Jeff Jabba.
Like, that was wonderful. I love that. You know, like, she's taking what he put her into and, like, using it against him.
Yeah.
Like... I just love that. So, I mean, the costume looks really cool too.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the costume, not gonna lie.
Yeah. So, I mean, I love the Star Wars, you know, series. So, it's just been something that's been on my mind for a very long time. And very soon, I have bits and pieces of it put together. Yeah. So, in a few months, it should be good to go.
Well, keep me updated. I want to see.
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously, as an artist, like I'm always intrigued by the process of whether you're buying the parts or building the parts or doing a combination of the two. It's always
doing a combo.
Yeah.
I don't have that much time to, like, you know, make it myself this time around, but I mean, it's whatever. Just showing the love of the character. So it doesn't really matter whether you buy it or you make it. It's how you present it
and how you rock it, how you have fun with it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, thank you. What about you? Do you have any plans for any cool cosplays?
Yes and no. I would like to do some more cosplaying, but I also have that issue of the time management thing.
Yeah.
I did cosplay, so there was an opportunity to cosplay with a bunch of my friends in New York City Comic Con, like, fucking ages ago. Like, dating, that was a long time ago, like 2011 or 2012 or something like that. So, like, yeah, that was a long time ago. I graduated college in 2010. It's weird.
You're so lucky. I wish
I'm so old now. Like, you're talking about to graduate. I'm like, she's so young. She has so much life ahead of her.
Oh no.
I'm like talking like I'm an old man.
No, you're still young. You're still sprightly. Don't.
That's a good word. I like that.
Don't sell yourself short. You still have a few years to, you know, kick.
Yeah, I know. I still have hair, so I think we're good.
Savor it.
That's what I'm doing. Legit. So I did have the opportunity to cosplay as Jake from Adventure Time.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't want to be Jake. I was like, I don't want to be Jake. So one of my other friends did Jake, and he was rocking that way better than I was. So I was like, you got that. Like that year, I was going around like that was my first time ever going to. No, it wasn't even that year. That was my first time going to Comic-Con. So like, I didn't want to dress up. I just wanted to kind of like look around and see everything and just dork out. But I did go to New York City Comic-Con once as Nathan Drake. But it was kind of one of those weird things. So like, Nathan Drake's costume is it's stuff that you would wear otherwise. Yeah,
it's like closet cosplay.
It was like closet cosplay. So when I got there, I was like, I don't feel out of place, but I don't feel like I'm trying hard enough. So
okay. You put in the thought.
I put in the thought. I had like the boots and everything. I had the cargo pants. I had the shema. You know, I had my little.
You were rocking it totally.
My little gun and holster and everything. And I had an interesting moment where like there was someone else. There was a few people who was like, "Oh, Nathan Drake, awesome!" Like, can I take a picture? I was like, "Oh, this is what I do to people. Like, this is awesome." So like,
famous over there.
Yeah. There were like 4 people who took pictures of me because like everyone else didn't realize who I was because like obviously like there's the distinction of like the cosplay and also Nathan Drake isn't a black dude. So like the immediate reaction wasn't always Nathan Drake. It was like, "Oh, Nathan Drake," and it was like
it took a second. No,
yeah,
okay. They got there.
Yeah, they got there. I didn't mind it at all. I was just like, man, like I should have done like Spawn or something. So that was who I would do if I had like more time to not only like bulk up but like like make the costume. I'd want to do something that was like the new Spawn where like his symbiote kind of suit was like coming off here so you could still see my face.
Yeah.
But then everything else was still kind of like basically like latex or painted on or whatever.
Yeah.
And like the cloth, the cape, I would do the cape of like the new version where you could see his face and get the green eyes and everything. It would be so cool.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Now you gotta do it.
I really, really want to do it.
Getting my hopes up. Now you're getting all the fans' hopes up too. Gonna bother you about this. A month from now, I'll be like, "So, how's the progress?"
I'm gonna be like, I did a drawing. I sketched it.
Getting there.
One step at a time, but that is who I would do if I had the opportunity. I would love to do many more, but now Geralt of Rivia from Witcher 3, I would love to cosplay as him too. Especially if I get the dreads and like color it white or whatever. That'd be cool. But yeah. That was a little longer of an answer than I expected.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you'd make a good Leia.
Aw, thank you. I hope so. I'd be a blonde Leia.
Blonde Leia. I mean, I've seen all types of different Leias, so there's nothing off the table.
All of them rock. So.
Even guy Leias. Some of them work it.
All of them work it. I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty
wonderful.
Great. If you could create a character that you could cosplay, what would they be like?
Like a cosplay that would like allow me to eat all day for like, but having an excuse. Like a cosplay character that like just ate Girl Scout cookies all day, so I could just like walk around with just packages of it. And when people are like, you shouldn't be doing that, I could be like, "Excuse me, this is accuracy.
This is cosplaying."
Yeah.
All right.
I'm doing this to get into character.
I think we should start a petition online to get Oksana to make her own cosplay character, the Girl Scout
awesome.
Cookie.
It wouldn't even be like an attractive character. It'd just be like super cozy. Wait, okay.
Just like cookie crumbles like all over your face.
Yeah, just cookie crumbs all over my mouth. Yeah. And then I'd be in a blanket, right? So I'd be like blanket burritoing as I was walking around. Maybe we're like Crocs.
You have to like bounce around.
So sexy. Absolutely.
So hot. I'm down for it.
I gotta get on this. This is just gold.
This is your moneymaker right here. Forget about nursing. This is.
Yeah. I think so.
Uh-huh.
It's what the people want to see.
This is the people have asked for it. They're telling me right now. Where's my phone? They're telling me right now on my phone.
Oh, really?
Totally.
That's cool.
What is the best bit of advice you could give to someone considering cosplaying?
Honestly, like, don't. This could sound stupid. Don't think about it. Just do it. Because the more you think about like the reasons why you shouldn't do it, like, you should always do something if you kind of want to do it. And going to a comic book convention, it's one experience when you go, without dressing up and just, enjoying it as like a fan like that. But when you dress up, it's like a whole nother layer that you get to experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you end up meeting a lot more people because, people come up to you, they're like, "Oh, you're cosplaying, like, oh, Red Sonja, like, I love that comic book series." And, it just kicks off from there. So.
Did you ever cosplay Red Sonja?
I did.
Oh my god, how have I not seen this? So I really like Red
New York
Sonja.
Comic-Con.
Wait, what was that?
I did it for New York Comic-Con.
All right, you're going to have to send me a link to that.
Okay.
Because that's amazing.
It's on my cosplay page, Oksana Cosplay, so go on Facebook, y'all.
Facebook, everyone. There's going to be links to her social media in the thingamabobby.
Yeah, shameless self-plugging.
Yes. Absolutely.
No, but just like don't worry about have it being like a perfect cosplay. Just put forth as much effort as you can and make sure that it's enjoyable. Like if you're stressing yourself out about the hobby, it's not a hobby anymore. So
That's
just
true.
enjoy it. Don't try and be like, the best Nathan Drake out there. Just be the best Nathan Drake you can be.
Why not? I'm the best,
mean,
damn it.
If you can do it, go for it. But yeah.
Again, about the Nathan Drake thing, like I had this really weird moment when I came across another Nathan Drake, and he did it way better than I did. Like
It's not a competition though. Always remember.
it isn't a competition. It's very important to remember that. But I was just like, I know what I have to do next time if I do this.
Yeah, exactly. And like the thing is, you could even go up to him and be like, "How did you make this certain part?" And then just build off of that. It's great.
Yeah, we actually like locked eyes. I was like, he was like Nathan Drake. I was like Nathan Drake.
Yeah, that's the best part. I love finding people that like are cosplaying the same character as me, and like I never get like that competition. I always just think like, "Hey, girl."
Yeah. So
be like twinning.
We definitely had that moment, but in the back of my mind, I was like, he fucking nailed this shit. Like, so good. But yeah, that's really good advice, though. Some people get really caught up on the competitive
Don't get
side
caught up in the likes and all that. Don't even worry if you like get photos at the convention. Just focus on having a good time and just meeting fans that love the same thing that you love.
And what is your favorite game or game franchise of all time?
Oh, that's rough.
That is rough. I just hit you with the heavy shit.
You ask the hard questions on this show. I know, signing up for this.
It can literally be anything. Like there was this cat game that was on Android that one of the people I have on regularly was talking about during a podcast once, and he's like, guys, I have a confession. I'm really addicted to this fucking cat game. We're like, what? And so he showed us what it was. We were like, oh my god.
That sounds amazing. I gotta get on that. I'm a fan of cats.
Cats are awesome. Some people don't think they're awesome.
Well, I don't know what's up with that. What's wrong with people?
I don't think they're awesome, alright? The people who don't like cats are not awesome.
They are not. They lose that awesome privilege.
Absolutely.
So favorite game? I think Final Fantasy X.
That's a good game.
I used to play it on the PlayStation 2. I have fond memories because I have an older brother, and as every younger sibling knows, you spend a lot of time just sitting there watching.
Yes.
So I would always watch him play the game, and then eventually I started my own save file, so I played it again, and I loved it. And then it came out, the remake on PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. I pre-ordered it immediately. I found out like a year in advance. I pre-ordered that.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, I finished it in like a very, very short amount of time because I just loved it. I love the story mode. Well, I mean, it's all story mode.
Yeah.
I just love the story, the plot. It's one of those games that I could play over and over and over again, and I'll still cry my eyes out.
Dude, I was literally about to say the same thing. I was like, I remember the scene where Yuna and Titus or whatever, however you say Titus.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Let's go with that. When they were like in the water and kind of like, I guess, like revealed that they had this deep feelings for each other. I was like,
I was bawling my eyes out. Oh my god, just multiple tears. My mom came in, she's like, Oksana, what's wrong? I was like, can you understand? It's all sorts of feelings.
Yeah.
But
that was
such a good game.
It was so good. And it was like, for emotional reasons, it was pretty rough. I was like, oh man, that sucks. Yeah, I there was this music video that came out for it. I don't remember when it came out, but it was like one of the audio tracks to it, and it was like all the moments that Titus and Yuna shared. And I saw that, like, it was like a year ago. It wasn't even that long, and I was just like...
Yeah. Oh my gosh, no, that happened to me in high school one time. I was like walking through the halls, and randomly, like, I just started thinking about like that last scene where, like, I'm not gonna spoil it for people that haven't, played it.
Spoiler alert! You can say it. Just
so, like, okay.
Yeah.
So like when Titus disappears and everything, he jumps into like the sin and everything, so he gets gone forever. So I started thinking about that.
Yeah.
And I was walking through the halls, and I had to. I almost started crying. I had to like think of something else. Like I saw my friend, and I saw that I had like tears in my eyes, and she's like, "Oksana, like, is everything okay? Did you like do poorly on an exam?" And I'm like, We're thinking about Final Fantasy.
Did she understand? Did she like know? Or
She understood.
She understood,
She's like,
okay.
"Oh, girl, that's rough."
That's rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But it's rough, you know. Sometimes the video game feels they just hit you at unexpected moments, and you just gotta, you know,
Were
suck it back up.
I'm like, were there any other games that had that kind of impact on you? Like,
There's this maybe not to that degree, because you know it was like a game of my childhood, so it didn't really have that nostalgia aspect to it as well of, you know, playing it a long time ago and then replaying it.
Yeah.
But there's this one game I played I think recently. It was over the summer, and then I replayed it again because I really loved it. It's Valiant Hearts.
Oh, that's awesome. I have that on my PS4 hard drive, but I have not played through it yet.
It is so good.
Yeah.
I was kind of hating on it at first because I'm like, oh, the graphics aren't the best. It's like a side scroller, it's a puzzle. Like, oh, you know, I don't really know if it's my thing, but oh my God, the story, the music, it's just phenomenal.
Oh.
I loved it so much. That's another tearjerker. So.
Oh man, I heard
luck.
some people got pretty emotional with that game.
You're gonna have to, you know, play with a box of tissues.
For a different reason, guys. For a different reason. Different reason.
It's not that kind of game.
Not that kind of game.
But it's so much fun, and it doesn't even take that much time. Like I think I finished it in 2 days, and that was just me being like casual about it. I wasn't like, you know, I played it for like a few hours and then stopped. But you could finish it in a day if you wanted to, and it's just such a beautiful game. Like I still just play the soundtrack as I'm like driving home from school sometimes, and you know, just cry slowly. Just gentle tears just rolling down as I'm like thinking about the game. But it's a beautiful game. I really, really recommend it. It's good for history buffs as well. It's got lots of, you know, trivia throughout the game.
Oh, okay. So is it like historically accurate too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
It's based on World War One, you know, the Great War. So lots of fun facts about it.
I'm definitely gonna play that. I recommend to you.
Yes.
Transistor.
Really? I feel like wait. Okay, I know.
Yeah?
I've heard this before. Yeah.
Okay. So what have you heard about it?
I've seen people cosplaying from it.
Oh my God, a cosplay is so cool.
Yeah, I think before the game even came out, somebody had already like made the costume. That was crazy. It's like dedication.
Yeah, seriously. I highly recommend it. I mean, I didn't think that first of all, the music is phenomenal in it. It's like one of those games where like you definitely like got to get that soundtrack and just listen to that jam out at any point. But
I love that. I love when like games have very good musical soundtracks, and because even when you finish playing the game, like the music stays with you.
Yeah.
Whenever you listen to the music, you could like imagine the exact moment of when you were playing that game. It takes you back. You know, it's one big nostalgia trip.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I also, at the end of that, I got very teary-eyed at the end of that.
Oh, yeah.
I have a little soft spot sometimes. Only sometimes, though.
Only sometimes? Okay. You don't cry, you sweat from your eyes?
I sweat profusely through my eyes. And so that ties into the next part of the podcast, the gaming news. So, what have you been playing?
The game of exams. Just tons of exams. It's a very difficult semester. I really haven't been able to, you know, play any video games thus far, unfortunately.
Poor thing.
Yeah, I mean...
You did play Valiant Hearts, though.
Yeah, because, I mean, that game's very easy to play casually, I guess. So, and it's short, but...
Yeah.
I guess that's the last one.
So what is one game that's out now that you're really, like, intrigued by?
I mean, it's been out forever, but League of Legends.
Okay, yep.
I'm really bad at it. Oh my God. I got into it right before the semester started, so over the summer. So it was like a week before school started, which is a horrible time to get into it.
Terrible idea.
Yeah, and I'm horrible at it. Oh my goodness. I try and like 1 versus 5 everybody. I'm just extremely aggressive.
You're that player.
I'm that player that just goes right in, and they're all like, dude, like hang back, wait for the healer. And I'm like, I'm my own healer, I'm my own tank, I'm my own, you know, I'm my own everything. I could sell this, like, stand back, guys.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you started on a Twitch channel. That's gonna be one of my goals. You're gonna start a Twitch channel. You're gonna so many followers.
Oh, that's sweet.
Especially
very boring game.
Especially if you go into battles like Leroy Jenkins. Like, no, I don't need you guys. I can go in myself and just get murdered instantly.
You know, I love how everybody gets upset with that game. Like, people start yelling at you. They start, caps locking me.
They can get pretty toxic in League of Legends. Yeah.
But it's cute. Like, I feel like it just makes me upset, but it just makes me laugh. It's like, it's just a game. Like, get over yourself, God forbid you don't get into, gold or
whatever.
Platinum, yeah.
Yeah.
Bronzing it all the way. I'm not even level 30. I'm like level 11.
Is level 30 the max level?
Level 30, and then you start, like, ranking. That's when you get into, like, depending on how good you are. Right. So I'm not even ranked.
Right. So people can't even get that mad. It's like, all right.
Yeah. And my friends, they're very good at the game because they've been playing it for, like, a long time. So they'll invite me into the parties, right? And because I'm, like, in their party and they're all, like, level 30s, it ups, like, the difficulty. So everybody's so good, and I suck. And I feel terrible. But they're always trying to, like, be nice about it. They're like, oh, it's okay. You only died 5 times this time. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Well, I
almost fun kill.
I haven't even started the game yet. So if you need another noob to help you through...
Yes. Noob it out with me.
I could do that.
You could just go aggro on everything.
Just start mashing.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you. Do you have a favorite character style or class?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm totally blanking on what it's called. It's the people that okay, I'll name some characters that are in the class.
Okay,
it's like Caitlyn, it's who
I don't know much about League of Legends.
Misfortune. It's those people.
Yeah.
And then
are those support?
Tristiana or something like that. It's another character. I forget. Oh my god. What's it called? It'll like come to me right after the interview, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, what a fake nerd."
Oh, Assassins.
No, not that one. No, it's got an acronym.
Oh, okay. So there's like an actual thing that they call it. So
yeah.
my League of Legends knowledge is very low.
It's okay. Mine is too. You're making me feel better.
Okay, good. That's I like people talk about League of Legends to me sometimes at conventions, and I'm just like, your costume's really cool, but I have no idea who
they have
you
the coolest outfits.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I met a cosplayer at PAX East, who was Amethyst Ash. Mm-hmm. I need to I don't even know how to spell that. But...
No, Ash is in the group of characters too that I like playing from.
Okay.
I'm blanking on the name. Oh
support.
My gosh. No, it's not support.
Damn it.
She could be played as support, I think, but I don't play her as that. I play her as a. It'll come to me.
Okay. We'll remember like later at the end of the podcast. Like, I remember. But yeah, that's cool though.
It's fun when I do get to play. Those rare moments.
Those rare moments.
Yeah. The good thing about that game is that it's very like casual. Like you could just go in and just play one game and then that's it. You don't have to, because I was really, really into MMORPGs in high school. Yeah. High school, middle school, all that. Oh my gosh, I had like no life. I would just spend all my days, grinding, trying to level up, and it all started with RuneScape. I feel like that was the gateway MMO for everybody. And then from there, I discovered Guild Wars, and then it was so much fun. So I spent all my time on that.
I have Guild Wars 2 that I have not even played yet.
Guild Wars 2 isn't as good because it's a lot of grinding. Yeah, because like they upped the level cap to 80, and I think they upped it again, so it's even higher than that now. But it's just like you have to spend all this time leveling up, and I never liked that as much. I liked the stories and being able to do all the quests with my friends. So yeah. The good thing about Guild Wars is the cap was level 20, and you never had to worry about like grinding or anything like that. As long as you just followed all the quests, you would level up naturally. Yeah, like to the level that you were supposed to be. So, does
Guild Wars have a real-time action combat, or is it like turn-based or something?
No, it's like the standard MMO. Okay. Like World of Warcraft. Okay. Like you got your spells, so you just do that. I always wanted to play World of Warcraft, but it was pay to play, and I was young, and I had no money, so I didn't do that. I just downloaded all the free-to-play MMOs like Perfect World, Ion. There was a bunch.
Right. Yeah, I think I got into DC Universe online.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
I played a little bit of Blade and Soul within the last couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the way they created that game was like a fighting game almost. It was like an MMO fighting game. You had combos and cool stuff you can do.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like it. What have I been playing lately? Not a Street Fighter 5.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I'm terrible at those games. Oh my gosh. I just button mash and then I hope for the best.
You know, honestly, button mashing is probably better to do in certain circumstances than what I'm trying to like be accurate. Like, I got this. Like, let me go low forward, hard fierce, quarter circle forward. I'm just like getting hammered by someone just pressing anything. Like. But we actually met when you were cosplaying Poison.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, good times.
Yeah, I back in my day, we met when you were Poison. Like, I still remember.
I wasn't that good at playing, but I just liked the character design. I thought it was very fun, and I played with my girlfriends, so we always like playing those arcade games, and they're like not better than I am. We all suck, which is great because like when you find people that like are at the same level as you, even if you both suck, like it's still like a challenge.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you get a little better each time.
Yeah.
A little bit better at blocking and then mashing, but block.
You lose the traction on your thumb after a while because you're pressing so hard and start getting like bruises and calluses.
Yes.
People start looking at you. They're like, "Damn, you've been like working out." It's like, no, I've just been playing a lot of games.
It's the best answer ever.
Yeah.
Ever. I've been playing The Division. What else have I been playing? I played this game called The Culling not too long ago on stream. And it's a PC game. Maybe it'll make it to consoles. I don't know. But are you familiar at all with Hunger Games?
Oh, of course. I read the books.
Okay.
I haven't seen all the movies.
I haven't either. I saw 1.5 of the movies.
1.5?
Yeah.
I saw 2. So
okay. So we're on the same. We're on the same set. Yeah. The game is very similar to Hunger Games. So like you're just dropped into this open environment, but it's got like a very humorous tone to it. So that's the one thing I really, really like about it. It's like, so you can attack the other organ donors now. So they just like call everyone organ donors.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. But you can like
cool.
go around the environment and kind of like whack at trees to get wood from them and like get rocks and make weapons out of those or like make bandages. And there's a lot of like crafting and looking around the environment, but it's like all multiplayer competitive. So it's all these other players that you're going against while you're doing all that. So it's
that's so cool.
It's really cool, but it's nerve wracking because it's like if I don't do this in time, someone's gonna come behind me and murder me.
That's so scary.
It is so scary.
The stress.
Yeah.
The virtual stress.
I was like having anxiety on stream. I was like, but I recommend it though. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's in early access right now, but people at home or you as well, if you're ever interested in checking out something that's very Hunger Games-ish, I recommend it. It's pretty cool.
I'll check that out whenever the free time.
Yeah, whenever that is.
Whenever that comes. A year from now, when I graduate. I'll schedule it then.
So there's a bunch of things going on in the gaming news which are really interesting. And I had an opportunity.
Tell me about them.
Oh, yes, we will talk about them. And I actually was in another podcast on Thursday.
You're so popular.
I was on the Coalition podcast. It was called Throwdown. And we were talking about some of the stuff that's actually in here. But it was a big group of people talking. So not everyone got a chance to say everything that they wanted to say about it. But I don't know how closely you're following the VR movement, but PlayStation VR was just unveiled, and many of its details were explained. They also talked about a bundle. What are your thoughts on VR in general?
Virtual reality?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, like the... Sorry, I'm so behind on that. Like Oculus Rift type stuff? For the PlayStation? They have that?
Yup. So
that sounds so cool.
Yep. I'm gonna like give you the lowdown of what's going on with that.
Yeah.
So, the virtual reality headset comes out this October.
Already?
Yeah.
Dude, technology these days.
Technology.
What a time to be alive.
and it's going to be $400 on its own.
Oh my goodness.
But the other VR headsets, like the Rift or the Vive, I think it's called, are like $700 to $800 or $900. So they're a lot more expensive, and you need to have like a very demanding PC in order to use them. So that is something that's really interesting about this, because the PlayStation has its own version of VR that is reportedly working really, really, really well. Like, I had an opportunity to try out the Oculus Rift when it was still in development.
You did?
Yeah.
Ah, I was so jealous.
And it was a very, very interesting experience, because it was kind of like having that weightless feeling a little bit, because like you were like looking around the environment, but you were kind of still, but your character is like moving around, and it was a very, very surreal experience. Like I got to try one where it was like you were in a room, but you were like floating, and it was supposed to be kind of like horror-ish, but it wasn't really that scary, but like it could be translated into something terrifying.
Oh my goodness. Could you imagine like the horror games, like Silent Hill VR?
Oh my god. There's just...
I think like I would just die. I'd have such terrible nightmares. I can't even watch scary movies, let alone be involved in that.
Yeah, so
oh my god.
Here's the interesting thing about that. I played a game called Outlast. I did like a playthrough of it. It's like one of the scariest games I've ever played, because they don't give you the ability to fight back.
Oh no.
So I'm just like this deep voice, guys. Like, ah! Ah! I was like screaming my brains out. It was terrifying. But a game like that in VR would be really dangerous.
I think so, especially for like kids, because those M-rated games where like kids aren't allowed to play it, but they all do. They find like Timmy down the street. He's got like a cousin that like buys him the games, or yeah. So they're gonna be playing that games, and then like I don't know. That's a double-edged sword. I don't know if it's very good for those kinds of games to be available.
Well, I mean, it's going to be on parents and distribution of those things to regulate that. But adults even are probably going to have like heart attacks playing it.
Oh my god, I would be one of them.
Yeah,
just instantly, just fall down, just be like, that's it.
I want to see you play a horror game.
Oh
I
my
think
god,
that'd be really
just lots of screaming and just terrified looks.
Yeah, that's me too.
It's not good. No. I hear like a slight noise outside. I'm like, oh,
yep.
Where is this? Where's it coming from?
And something else really interesting about it too is that it'll be bundled with a $500 version, so it'll come with the camera that like detects where you are in relation to like if you're using motion sensing stuff. It'll come with a Move controller, like you remember the Move controllers from like way back, right? Same things that they're incorporating with that. So I think the idea for Move from the get-go was to go towards VR.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. And I think it has like some game that's included with it as well. So that's also an option for people. They can get the $500 bundle. But something really interesting that I saw in here was that there's like some reports of virtual reality like helping treat lazy eye.
Really?
Yeah, so like the one downside of VR, I guess, is that it's very like it's so immersive that you can like end up like knocking stuff over around you. Yeah. And is this
good for your eyesight? Having that.
Yeah, right?
That can't be good for your eyes. That's my first thought when I heard of all this stuff, because people they say like, oh, you only play for like an hour or two. It's like nobody plays for an hour. So.
Hell no.
You play it all day. You turn down the curtains and everything. It's 5 a.m. You're still playing. Like, oh.
Yep. That's literally literally what happens. And I also wonder that same thing. And so, like, I guess it's one of those things that you get used to over time, like with like watching TV or playing games for extended periods of time.
Yeah, you get used to deteriorating eye vision. Absolutely. LASIK is going to take off right after VR does.
Dude, seriously. I think there will be people who will only be able to play for like an hour before they have to like stop and like get like dizzy, get a headache and stuff. But there might be some people who can play longer than that. I don't know what that's going to be like.
They'll train for it.
Yeah,
train
right?
up their resistance for VR.
Just put screens in front of their faces for like hours on end.
Oh my god. I feel like if VR comes out, like that's just all I would do. I'd like forget about real life, forget about taxes. Just
oh my god.
In VR, there are no taxes.
You don't have to worry about anything. You just jump off of buildings and just get up again. You're fine.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
And like having actually experienced it in its like earlier version, but still working really well. I'm like, yes, I'm ready. Yeah. But like it's really interesting that there's like also benefits to this VR, like helping to treat ocular conditions like that. So
yeah, it's wonderful. It's great to hear about.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we do continue seeing stuff like that. Let's see whether VR is an accessory, blah blah blah. So that's like the big news about that. VR is like coming out full force. I think the Oculus is already out, but it's like way expensive. I can actually give you a real number.
It's okay. I think way expensive covers.
Yeah, it really does.
Way expensive, guys.
It's like way
Start
more.
making money.
And then the Nintendo NX controller was just unveiled, so Nintendo's coming out with a new console. And I don't know if you had a chance to check out the link. I'll actually show you exactly what it looks like. And it's an interesting looking device. But I imagine you grew up playing. Actually, I'll just send it to your Facebook thing. It's a little easier.
Sure. Just checking my phone.
There's like, I would say like most people who have been gaming for any bit of time like are very familiar with kind of like what Nintendo has been doing with their past consoles. The handhelds and the Wii U and the Wii. I'm like looking at your face to see your reaction.
I don't understand. Why? It feels so like not practical. I don't know how I feel about this.
I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm so dead.
I don't.
That was the perfect reaction because I looked at that and I was just like, how do you do it?
Yeah.
How do you play?
How did they come across this design? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to be open-minded to it, but like, okay, people at home, you guys will be able to see the link because it'll be linked on blackonlyblog.com. You'll be able to see the link as it is. And they blacked out certain parts because, like, they don't want to get in trouble or whatever. And there's like a thing that says, you will say wow. I'm like, yeah, I'm saying wow for a very different reason. Like,
what?
It looks like it has a camera on it.
Yeah.
And it looks like it has a screen. But it has, like, on-screen buttons. But it has...
I don't like the shape. It's just such a weird, like, uncomfortable shape. I feel like that'll slip out real easy,
Oh yeah, absolutely. It'll slip out. It'll cramp your hand probably
absolutely.
Really easily. Like, there's a reason why devices aren't shaped like that.
Yeah.
Unless they know something that we don't. I don't.
Maybe it's like ergonomically designed for like,
children?
Something. Children? Yeah. It's made specifically for little hands.
Yeah. And my hands aren't that small. No.
It's mine either.
Yeah.
Mine are pretty big. I have like Mickey Mouse hands, Everything else is small and then just big old hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very worried because Nintendo in the handheld market is doing phenomenal. Nintendo has always been a pioneer in making really strong first-party titles, right? But when it comes to their like home consoles, they haven't really figured it out. Like the Wii sold really, really well. But I remember like when the Wii came out, I was in college, and there were people who bought it just to play Wii Sports and maybe a Zelda game, and that was it. Like that was literally it. And I'm trying to be optimistic about it, but I'm finding it really hard.
Yeah.
So, Nintendo, if you're listening to this, just take a step back, evaluate what it is you're trying to go for, and then try again.
Savage.
Okay, I'm going to be open-minded. I'm going to wait until they fully unveil it, until I get my hands on it, until I get to experience it.
And then you just destroy it.
I'm just gonna be honest.
Give it like a terrible review.
I'm just going to be as honest as possible
Yeah.
when I'm with it. I'm just gonna say, you know what? This is actually really cool, or this is horrible. My hand hurts.
Oh. They'll come out with like Nintendo gloves just to wear, just to like hold it in your hand.
Yes.
Yeah. However they can make that money.
Exactly.
The more accessories, the better.
God, no. Please, no. What else do we have on here? There's a game called Tokiden 2 that was just recently announced. I think GDC is happening right now as we speak. So that's their Game Developers Conference. And so there's still more announcements being made as we record this. And, there's a bunch of games that are on the way or just got released. But one of the ones that kind of spoke out to me was Tokiden 2. Did you ever play this game called Onimusha?
Bless you. No, I haven't.
That was a sneeze, right?
Okay. It sounds like a cute name.
Yeah, right. So
I couldn't repeat it, but it sounds cute.
Unfortunately, it was a game that came out a long time ago and hasn't seen the light of day in ages. Like, the last one was like 2004. It might have been like 2004, 2005. So it's been a really long time since the game has seen any type of like reoccurring action. But this reminds me of that game and like Monster Hunter. So I'm really intrigued by it. Hopefully you guys at home are intrigued by it. And maybe one day I'll introduce it to you.
Play all the games.
All the games. As soon as you graduate, bam!
Oh yeah, that's it. Game over.
Game over.
Or game begin.
Game
Start.
And so this is actually something else really interesting I wanted to bring up. There's always this idea of the console wars, Team Xbox, Team PlayStation. Everybody is either one team or another. Sometimes they're both.
If they have the money, they're both.
If they have the money, they're both. Exactly. And one of my big reasons why I think there has been like huge flame wars in the console space is because like people want to be able to play with their friends.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Right. But the only way you can play with your friends is if they have the same console as you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Struggle.
The struggle is so real. So there's some people. Now I got my PlayStation 4 first. I just got our Xbox One like maybe last year.
Nice.
Or maybe the year before. I don't remember. Again, time is a very irrelevant thing to me right now.
It's okay.
But there were groups of people that I couldn't play with because I didn't have an Xbox One. But we're seeing a lot of games recently come out with cross-platform play between PC and PlayStation 4.
Ooh.
So one example of that is Street Fighter V. People on PC can play with people on PS4, which is awesome. So
Is there like an advantage for one over the other? Is it like easier to play on one?
Well, the only advantage is that on PC you have more types of controllers you can use with it. So like you can use an Xbox 360 controller or a PlayStation 4
That's
controller.
true.
So if you're really comfortable with like a 360 controller, you can play that on there and be like really comfortable. And I think more like arcade sticks work with PC because you can like use an Xbox 360 one and use that on there. But other than that, there isn't really any actual advantage gameplay wise. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
and this,
Bringing everybody together.
Yeah.
It out.
It's
And then
a-
destroying friendships when you lose.
well, right, that's the other thing. Stop sparing Hadouken!
Whenever I play Smash Bros, I just down B Pikachu just all day. My friends hate it.
The worst.
Like, Oksana, learn some new controls. This is all I know.
She's like, yeah, I don't fucking care. You're gonna get wrecked.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of other games that do this as well, like Final Fantasy 14. It's an MMO which allows you to play between PS4 and PC as well.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other games. Rocket League is another one of those games. A really, really good game. And Microsoft just made an announcement recently saying that they were open to opening their infrastructure to allow other consoles. They didn't specify who or what, but other consoles to access the pool of players similar to what Rocket League is recently doing with the Xbox One to the PC. So we might be on the verge of seeing some PS4 versus Xbox One actual playability when it comes to some of these games.
Yay!
Yeah, and I'm really
Friends.
yeah, exactly. I'm really excited about it because it'll open the door for some complications, sure, but it'll always mean you have someone to play with. I mean, you'll
Absolutely.
and like if your friend gets an Xbox One and you have a PS4, like you can still play with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't have to trash talk the other system.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you usually play on?
A PlayStation.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm a
girl.
hardcore PlayStation girl.
Yeah.
PlayStation 2, 3, and 4.
Mm-hmm.
I just like it's so sleek.
Mm.
Just looks so like
It's sexy.
mature.
Yeah.
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 Aerodynamic.
Yeah. Don't throw your PS4, people. Don't do it.
Try it. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I like it. I mean, I'm sure if I had grown up playing Xbox, my opinion would be different. But I've always had a PlayStation, so it's just the way that I've, grown up. Mm-hmm. It's the way my children will be raised. We are a house of PlayStation. No Xbox in this family.
Go hide an Xbox in the basement or something. They won't know.
Shh.
But yeah, I'm similar. I've grown up with Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. I said Super Genesis. That's not what it's
okay.
called. That's fine.
It could be a Super Genesis. You can make it a thing.
It's gonna be what was it? Sega's next console, Super Genesis.
Yeah. You've heard it here first.
Exclusive. But once PlayStation entered the realm, I was like, yeah, this is where it's going to be. But I do have an Xbox One. I play every once in a blue moon.
Now you play for both sides.
Yeah.
You just have no allegiance.
No, so I have an Xbox One, but honestly, I haven't played it in like 2 months.
Yeah.
And before that, I hadn't played it in 4. So I have it, but mainly to just play with certain people or to just have an experience of like playing those particular games. Like Fantasia, for example, on Xbox One is pretty fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. It's like literally the Disney Fantasia with like...
Really?
Yeah.
Aw, girl.
Girl, listen.
Gotta try that out.
It's really fun. But yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes. But speaking of kind of PlayStations and Xboxes and consoles, there's rumors circulating that there's a PlayStation 4.5 on the way.
4.5? Why don't they just call it 5? Why don't they just round up?
So the word on the street, or on the internet, whatever, is...
Internet street.
Internet street. Is that it's like PlayStation 4 can play back video at 4K resolution, but it can't play games at 4K resolution. So this upgrade would let developers tap into 4K as a resolution for playing. And I think this was kind of done in part because of... by the way, is my voice like really loud or is it good?
No, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah,
I should have asked
very
that.
Smooth.
I'm trying, my internet voice, my radio voice.
Absolutely. I'm enjoying it. Keep going.
Good. I like it. I lost my train of thought now.
I'm distracting you. Keep going.
You're very distracting.
Before I so rudely interrupted you.
So they wanted to be able to have high resolution for when PlayStation VR was made like really prevalent and popular. So they want to be able to bring more higher quality experiences of VR as well as 4K for regular game playing. So I don't know if that means it's going to be a new console or if it's going to be like an upgrade that you can attach to your PS4 or if it would be something that they would do internally to it. What would be your ideal situation in that?
The cheapest one. I don't want to restart, my collection of games. Mm-hmm. I hope they don't have, games just for 4.5 PlayStation. That'd be ridiculous.
That would suck so bad.
I have to restart everything.
So I think the reason why they were saying 4.5 is because it would only be like a attachment. It would be like a an upgrade to it, So
I'd like that.
yeah, I would like that too. PlayStation, if you are listening, listen, you got your $1 million plan right here. Like,
Yeah.
just listen to us. I mean, we've got all the answers you
Yeah.
need.
Don't listen to anybody else. Just listen to two random people, on Skype. On the podcast, excuse me.
That's right. It's Skype for us. Everyone else doesn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, they're just hearing voices. They don't see the stupid faces we're making.
Oh, they do see our voices. If they're on YouTube, they see our voices.
Oh no.
Oh yes, it's gonna be great. So those reactions to that Nintendo NX thing that you had, they're gonna totally see. It's gonna be great.
Damn.
It's gonna be fantastic. And then everyone will see one of the other reasons why I think it's so awesome. So yeah, PlayStation, hopefully it's not a full new console. Hopefully it's something that they can either do internally or externally that isn't expensive. Because like the whole argument has been like PCs are already stronger than what the PS4 can do type of thing. It's like, well, if you spend the money. And the last bit of gaming news before we go on to our final part of the podcast is Naughty Dog is reportedly working on a new game now that Uncharted 4 has gone gold. So, Uncharted 4 will be in our hands very shortly. I will be nerdgasming for the duration of that playthrough. But there's some reports that potentially Jak and Daxter or Crash is the next game that they're working on. Did you have an opportunity to play either of those games?
I have Uncharted somewhere, but
Okay.
I have not been able to play it.
Okay. What about Jak?
I'm still behind.
I
Pardon?
know. What about Jak and Daxter?
I'm
Nope.
familiar with Jack Daniel.
My girl.
I gotta check out that game. What's it like?
So again, Jak and Daxter and Crash are both like ancient. Like Crash, I think, was when the PlayStation 1 first came out. And so it might have been either a launch title or like within the year of the PlayStation coming out. But they were platformers. They were kind of these kind of cool looking characters, kind of very distinct art styles, and those were kind of like what Naughty Dog was doing before they moved on to Uncharted, which is like what they're really well known for now. But they were most well known for, I think, Crash before. Crash the Bandicoot.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was like their mainstay when they were, really early on in the development. But
That's cool.
there's potential that they're working on a new one of either one of those games. So
Ooh, suspense.
yeah,
Stay tuned.
stay tuned for the next episode.
Yeah. Where you just tear it apart.
Yeah, this game is horrible. Did you play Last of Us?
Play what?
The Last of Us?
No.
Girl, we
I'm
gotta
so behind.
we gotta
on these
spend some
awesome
quality
games.
time with some
Yeah.
that is a very, 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 like, talk about like emotional games. That
Oh,
game
no.
was very emotional.
I don't know if I want to go on that train ride.
Like first 20 minutes emotional. Like,
Oh goodness.
yeah. It's
No, I want to play it.
yeah, it's rough. It's
On
rough.
like a sad Saturday evening, I'll just like play this. Just blanco burrito it up and just cry my eyes out eating Girl Scout cookies and playing Last of Us.
That sounds like an amazing time.
Right.
So there is shared play. So if you ever wanted to play it, I could get you on shared play. You can like,
Nice.
yeah, right.
Thank you. Taking
course.
care of me, man.
Take care of you. This is what I do.
Appreciate it.
Is there anything? We're moving on to the hot topic segment of the podcast. Is
okay.
there anything pertaining to gaming in general that you would like to talk about since we're here?
Games, man. Like, do them. PlayStations, the Xboxes, Nintendos, games.
I can't.
It's awesome. Like, I dig it. Wish I had more time for them.
That's so funny. And so, in closing, I'll say this. Well, not in total closing. In closing of this segment.
Okay.
Take
us away.
Take us away. The Division. Many people have been talking about it recently because it's like a very recent game. Came out like what, last week or the week before? And it's controversy because it's very it's very similar to Destiny in a way. Whereas like some people love it and some people hate it. And I'm a little bit in between, like loving and hating it. So in terms of like if I could recommend it to people, I would tell them to wait. And this is similar with Street Fighter V as well. Like the thing that kills me about Street Fighter V is that it was developed gameplay wise really, really well. Like it's a very, 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 very fun game to play. But it's missing so much content that it's like I can't tell most people to pick it up because it's like missing an arcade mode, it's missing an online lobby mode, it's missing a real story mode, it's missing a challenge mode, it's missing tutorials, it's missing the shop where you can buy like using the in-game currency, like different costumes. Like you can't do any of that.
The costumes are the best part.
I know.
I love the costumes.
And it's sad to see things like that happen. And then like a game like Division, for example, is more complete, of course, but playing it for a while gets a little boring. So the lowdown for anyone who isn't familiar at all with Division is like the concept of the game is there's this flu, this really potent flu that started infecting people in the U.S. And you are a secret agent under the moniker of the Division that is sent on a task to help bring order to New York City. Essentially, it takes place in New York City. So it's captured extremely well. Like you can go down streets that you've been to in New York City and literally see the exact way it was done. Like you can go inside some buildings and it is the exact way it is inside the building. Like a buddy of mine used to work in New York City who now works in New Jersey.
Yeah. Jersey.
He used to work in one of the buildings that you can go inside, and he went over to his desk where he sat. And I was like, this is exactly the way it was like when I was there.
So cool.
So cool. So it's a game that they've taken a lot of time to put all those details into. And this flu that's infecting people it's like transferred. It was initially transferred through money. And so this idea of like
it is the root of all evil.
Exactly. And so that's what I think is so fascinating about that too, is that like they really took that idea of money being evil and like making it the reason why people are dying.
That's so cool. I mean, it's not cool. That sounds horrible.
It's awful, but it's cool.
Sounds like a really cool like idea.
Yes.
Check that out.
Yeah, it's a really cool premise, but it's an MMO technically.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But it's an MMO, but it's a shooter MMO. So it's very conflicting. Because, you know, in MMOs, like, you have certain enemies who are, like, you know, damage sponges. You have to, like, sit there and, like, whack at them for a little while or hit them or shoot magic at them for a while for them to die. But, like, think of that in, like, a shooting environment where you have guns, and I'm shooting this guy in the head, and he's just kind of, like, chilling there, like, oh, hey, someone shooting at me. I should shoot back. And, like, they shoot you twice and you die. So it's a really conflicting game because, like, for every kind of cool idea that they introduce into it, there's, like, this idea of, like, the bullet sponginess or, like, you know, weird glitches happening throughout the environment or things that they took out of the game that when they, like, unveiled the game for the first time, it was kind of going to be very different than what it was.
It's a work in progress.
It's kind of a work in progress. Like, the enemies are very similar to each other, so, like, you have different types of enemies, but they're the same thing, like, same clothes, same guns that they're using, same everything, so it gets...
They're cousins. They all come from the same family. It's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, they share wardrobe.
They went to the same store.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, that's the last bit of news that I have for people in terms of whether or not they should get the Division. If you're already intrigued by it and you can get it on the cheap, I would say get it. But if you're going to get it at full price, I would say wait.
Wait for those sales, girl.
Wait for them sales.
On it up.
Oksana, it has been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I hope to have you on again with the rest of the group at some point.
Oh, sure. Meet everybody.
Yeah, they're good people, so
Cute.
It's a good time. And people at home, please do me the favor of following this lady here on all of her social media. And so, could you remind people again where they can find you?
Facebook.com/Oksana Cosplay. And then Instagram, Oksana Cosplay. And then Instagram for modeling, Oksana Modeling. I am a very creative person.
Makes it incredibly easy to find your work. I think that's that's the one thing about. Before I let you go, I do want to ask you one more question, and this is in relation to what we first were saying before we got on about our like names.
Yeah.
So, what is kind of like your gamer name and why?
Oh my God. Usually, I've made a lot of gamer names throughout, my life.
Okay.
My formula has always been like adjective animal.
Okay.
So like,
Okay.
I was a mafia kitten, and then it was, another one was like minty dove. So it's all like adjective animal.
Mafia. I'm just picturing
It sounds so like frightening. It instills fear into my opponent.
all the fear.
All of the fear. Yeah.
That's
I have
so
a bunch
good.
of others, but I don't repeat them because they're just embarrassing. I think my first
Sexy Mommy
RuneScape name was
69.
like my first RuneScape name was Magic Girl 627.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, that's just because 627 is my birthday, and then
Okay.
Magic Girl because I did magic and
so
I
you
was a
played magic
girl.
cards? Wait, are you talking about magic cards or are you talking about like magic tricks?
No, like magic in the game.
Oh, okay.
RuneScape, yeah.
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 Nice.
Got all the runes. I mean, it's it's not the most original I've been.
I mean, it works. I've heard many more
Yeah.
awful ones.
I wanted to go like like more hardcore at one point. I was like, okay, I'm gonna name myself like Bumble Bitch. Like frightening, but then like raw.
Bumble bitch.
Like buzz.
If that needs to be a thing. You should make a Twitter account called Bumble Bitch.
I love it.
That's good.
So tell me about your name. How did you come across yours?
So nowadays, I just use like Will Black Oni Wiggins. But prior to that, it's been J Blaze 06. So,
J Blaze. Sounds so badass.
I mean, some people when they see it, like playing online, they'll be like, Joe Blaze. I'm like, dude, that's a fucking A. Like, I don't. Just read it. It says Jae. So that literally happened like on PlayStation 3, for example. I don't know what it was. If people had like low res TVs or something, but it happened all the time. But that came about because like when I was younger, my brother and I like used to take like sticks outside and like use those at sword fighting and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
used to run around like play
Oh,
fighting
the
stuff.
best.
It was.
I
The
love
best.
that stuff.
It was really the best. And he at some point had like this. We used to love watching Dragon Ball. Like that was our gateway. Anime.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the shit.
Yeah, when Toonami was back on. Good
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
See, I'm not that young. I know what's up.
You're not too young.
Yeah.
I can rock with it. But he had this dream one day, and he woke up from it when it was in the morning. We were both up. He was like, "Man, I had this really crazy dream that like we were somewhere, and like he had powers, I had powers. We were fighting this giant creature demon thing, and he couldn't use his, but I was using mine, like doing all this flashy, crazy stuff." Like shooting fire. I was shooting fire.
Damn.
Right?
Firebender over here.
Avatar.
Yeah.
And he was saying like he was like having these moments where he was panicking. He couldn't use his powers when we really need them the most. And so like we started developing these characters based on this dream. And so like the reason my
That's
character
so dorky.
It is so dorky.
No, that's awesome.
It
That
is
sounds
the
really cool.
nerdiest thing I could have probably said there. But my character was shooting fire, so we went with Blaze. So we went with a very simple name, Jay Blaze. And his character was my brother, so he was Natishi, which was like a very random name, but it worked.
I like it.
Yeah.
Rolls off the tongue.
It rolls off the tongue. And he had like psychic powers, so he could like use telekinesis or like manipulate his energy into like physical stuff. So that's still something that actually applies to some of my stuff now. So the comic book that I'm doing now, which I've said I've been working on since last year, but really I only have time to work on it every now and then. is based on that idea. So Jay is he was originally an assassin, but he becomes a bodyguard over time. So he becomes more concerned with protecting people than assassinating people.
Turn to the good side.
I mean, he always thought he was on the good side.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He was always under the impression that he was doing the right thing because he was working for like the government in this world. It's like set in a post-apocalyptic future, but it's not. It's hard to explain, but it's like it's in the future, but it's in the past. So like the world kind of restarted itself based on like a fallout that happened, whether it was nuclear, whether it was like prophetic, whether it was like an alien invasion. No one knows.
Not yet.
Not yet. And the whole allure of the entire story is based around what happened and like how humanity can prevent that from happening again. And like you have these pieces from the past called relics that help tell the story of what happened.
Ooh, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, so
Gotta check that out.
Yeah, it'll be fun to show more people about that. But
I'll have to cosplay something from there.
please do.
I'll cosplay Jay Blade.
Please do. It's gonna be cool. But yeah, that's how the name came about.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Damn, that's like a whole backstory.
Yeah, I don't get to tell that story to people too many people because like I want to keep some of it. Obviously, it's just on a podcast, so some people will hear it.
Well, now everybody knows.
Now everyone knows. But
You did a great job of keeping it private.
until now, you're so distracting.
Yeah. Aw, damn.
But yeah, I'm hopeful that people latch on to it and like it.
Yeah. I'll be one of the first latchers, so don't worry.
Good.
Check it out.
I have some badass characters that I think you could
Yeah.
cosplay pretty well.
Yeah, awesome.
So yeah, everyone at home, keep it locked here for more awesome podcasts. Go check out Oksana's work, and keep being awesome, beautiful people. Game on, and Black Oni out.